Girl, you got some tea?
Girl, with the honey and the sugar.
Nah, we gonna need some wine for this one.
Well, wine me, please.
Hey y'all. Welcome back. I promise y'all I ain't drunk already.
Like, did you have a glass?
Right, I'm like, as I was doing, I'm like, dang, I feel like I'm in like the little green thing, right? But nah, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Wine Me Please podcast. Y'all, we are here to wrap up the second series about interpersonal relationships. Okay. But before we wrap it up, all right, let's do our wine of the episode. Okay. Here we go. So today's wine for the episode is the Pacific Fruit Sweet Blueberry. Got it from Aldi's. Okay. So let's give y'all a little description about it. It's experience a fruity, medium body wine with delicious, sweet, natural flavors of vibrant blueberries. Perfect complement to a delicious meal, beautiful day, fun party, or even just on its own. But make sure you serve it chill. And I'm sorry, Candace, but it's only got 7.5% alcohol.
It's juice. I'm joking.
It is juice. But you know, we had to do at least something that wasn't too strong.
I'm joking. Some people don't want too strong. I get you. It's 7% is fine.
It's okay. And for our pairing with our charcuterie board, we have just some traditional mozzarella balls, salami, crackers. I forgot which one you chose because we be having different flavor crackers, just so y'all know.
No, we got to put y'all on with the crackers.
And then dark chocolate covered almonds. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's see. I'm
actually excited though because it's blueberry, so it's fruity. I'm excited.
You like blueberries?
I do.
That's good.
You don't?
Yeah. Oh. How we just saying that's good. That did sound kind of like it did.
It's like
when I thought about it when you asked, I was like, oh wait, that did sound kind of like, okay, girl, good for you. My bad. My bad, girl. Get your wine, girl. Go on somewhere. Get that wine.
Okay.
She did okay me like an auntie for real. She's like, okay, if you like it, I love it. That's how I felt it was.
Hey, my bad, no shade. Okay, let's cheers. Let's see.
I smelled it when you poured it.
Definitely tastes like juice.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it either, but I won't be drinking it again. But
yeah, no, I ain't gonna lie to you. Go ahead.
You know what this reminds me of?
I was gonna say the same. Are you gonna say
Stella Rose?
Stella Rose. Yes, it reminds me of Stella Rose, but also like grape pop. It tastes like grape pop.
It definitely tastes. But Stella Rose tastes like grape pop to me too.
Yeah.
For all y'all Stella Rose lovers,
I feel like this is if you're not a real drinker, like you're not big on wine and alcohol. This is a I'm a good alternative. I'm a drink to be social, but I'm not really a drinker. This is one of those.
That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I'm a drink to be drinking.
You know why we're here.
Oh, y'all know y'all love our foolishness.
Of course.
Our foolishness. Let me taste this little cracker because I don't remember which one you picked.
I don't be remembering.
Taste it and tell me what's the flavors of your taste.
Let's
get show from behind the camera.
I know we gotta get our producer over here to give a review on the crackers because that's his favorite part. So see, I'm over here dropping stuff. You know I got to do it together. I don't like nothing dry. Wink.
Pause.
Okay, I'm done. Promise.
I ain't said nothing.
Not this time.
I ain't said nothing. I'm not judging nothing, nobody. I'm gonna eat my little mozzarella.
I'm gonna stay away from the mozzarella today.
Y'all know I love me some mozzarella cheese. Okay, y'all, we gonna wrap this series up. We ain't even gonna hold you, okay? We ain't even gonna hold you. So we talked about interpersonal relationships, like, which included like generational trauma. We had drivers on to talk about like marriage and intermingling families and like those things. What do you feel like? What was like one of your biggest takeaways from this series, or one of the things that stood out to you the most?
Honestly, Jarvis gave us some gems. Like, he spoke a word. Honestly, the submission part on both ends, right? We hear that conversation like all the time. And I think when we hear about love, he talked about selflessness, and I interpret that as like consideration and being considerate. Yeah. And I think like that's the biggest takeaway, is just being mindful of like how you're showing up in your relationship. And it doesn't even have to be romantic, but how you're showing up in your relationship, being mindful of like your flaws, where you're not meeting their needs at, and being open to that takes consideration. It takes a lot of selflessness. It takes being aware of who you are, and then also accepting that person. So I think honestly that was probably one of the biggest takeaways, because that's something that can cross all relationships.
Okay, girl, she told y'all. That's how biggest takeaway.
How about you? What did you like the most?
I don't know. It was so many.
I don't know. I feel like you was just adored a minute. Yeah, you was adored.
I was like, oh, look at my man.
Yeah. The family conversation too, because talking about family is difficult, and we all got some closets, some doors, some
I think just being able to talk about that more and like understanding generational trauma and like breaking it down and how you navigate it. That was very important, because I think a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah. I think there needs to be more conversations around it, and not in a gossipy type of way. And I feel like we, in our community, especially Black community, a lot of the stuff that happens in our households, the reasons we don't heal is because we don't talk about it. It's because we keep everything a secret. We keep things closed doors versus trying to have those difficult conversations. But the problem is you have messy people that try to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Which take away from having those meaningful conversations, because it is people that do want to grow and develop in their relationships with other people. But I think that's part of it. I think some of those conversations need to happen in order for the healing to start.
Yeah, it has to happen. I think also just remembering, if the other person isn't willing to have that conversation,
that part,
you know, you then for yourself have to determine like, okay, what do I do next for me, and how do I navigate, and like how to move. Yeah. Because that means now this relationship
it's different. It's different. He had said something earlier, and I did want to elaborate on, like, I know we have a generation of like cutting people off and just being done. Yeah. There's a balance to that, because I do feel like if you're trying, you're having conversations, you're making attempts, you're making efforts, I'm not going to keep having the same conversation over. So it's just like, it is a point where you have to know yourself. Yeah. Where it's like, where he said, you know, there are certain things about your partner you got to accept. Friendships, anybody. There's certain things about that relationship that when you know that person, you just have to accept. And you have to decide, is that something you want to deal with for the rest of your life?
That part.
And so if you had these conversations and you try to bring things to people's attention and it doesn't change, then you have a decision to make, not them. Because they heard you. They made a decision as well. Yep. And so that's where I feel like the cutoff thing, I feel like people will act surprised. Like, why you? No, don't be surprised. Because I didn't try to have this conversation, and it was just like, So to me, that ain't like a cutoff. That's like, okay, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I accept it for what it is. I'm going to keep moving.
And that happens, and we talked about even just being in our 30s and stuff, a lot of those relationships evolving and changing over time as we get older too. Is like, we're not the same people we were in our teenage years or in our 20s and stuff, and so those relationships.
You don't have to do anything out of convenience anymore. If you think about it, a lot of stuff growing up was done out of convenience.
Really was, like, a lot of your friends from like high school, college, things like that. And I love my college people, because a lot of them, they became family for me. But a lot of it was when you reflect, you're like, okay, what value does this person bring to my life? And not in a transactional, what do they do for me? But like, do they see me? Like, do we have meaningful conversations? Do I know they'll show up for me? If I get a flat tire, who can I call on? And who gonna show up? You know, that type of thing. So,
who can I run to?
Who can I run to? Oh, sorry, don't get me started. And that's the thing. I mean, when you ain't got to do stuff out of convenience and proximity no more, you do look at things differently too.
Absolutely. You look at life differently. You look at family dynamics differently. Friendship dynamics differently. Everything.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what? I don't got to deal with this.
Yeah. And part of that, too, is knowing yourself, too, is like learning yourself, loving yourself to know how other people are showing up for you, too.
Bingo.
Because I think the people pleasing, a lot of us have a lot of people pleasing where we kind of overcompensate to try to like keep relationships, and it's like, you doing too much. You
right.
If that person's not meeting you where you at, leave it alone.
Yeah. Overcompensating is a really big thing. Like, I see a lot of people do that, and just like going back to like our profession as therapists, right? You have people that come in and they talk about that, especially like some of my parents. They come in and talk about like how they're always overcompensating because something was missing, or they're trying to please everybody. And it's like, but then at the end of the day, they're drained, they're drowning,
and they don't know why.
Right?
I'd be like, well, what did they do for you? Because I'll be that person. I'll be like, well, how do they show it for you?
Yeah.
Well, they don't. Then why do you keep them around? Like, I'm not trying to be like, what is your intentions with
right?
I'm always gonna ask, what's your intentions of the relationship? Because what are you doing?
Exactly. Because I need to understand so that I can better help you, right? Because if I don't understand it, then what we doing here?
Right. For them, that's how they feel needed or valued, because how else, right? Like, that's the only way those people are showing them that they care.
And so now we got to work on that.
We got to work on a whole self-esteem issue. Now we got to work on, like, no, girl, no.
We don't put together a whole retreat about self-esteem.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
From our, look out for it.
Look out for it. It's going to happen.
Mark our words.
But relationships are hard. Relationships are just hard.
In general, yeah.
Yeah.
Family, friends. I don't know. Oh, how you feel like, yes, relationships are hard. And I know we talked about like social media in relationships, like with your significant other. But what about like social media in relationship with your friends or family? Like not showing up for you, or not supporting, or not, you know. It that can go in so many different ways.
It can go. I've had two different opinions, and I feel like opinions can evolve. So
yeah,
my opinion today, and that's part of the problem. Is okay. That's a whole nother conversation. But I was one of those people that like, I'll support you, but that don't necessarily mean I need to go to all of your events and like pay for stuff or things like that, right? Like I'm a share, but also. Now I also think like liking and sharing doesn't take that much, right?
It don't.
Like, and before it was like I wouldn't really do it that much. Like if it was something big, you got an event, I want to support you, but you could like post something and if it wasn't funny or I didn't like it, I would just kind of keep going. But my mindset now is just like, I don't really care. Like I'm gonna support you just because, you know what I mean? Like you put effort and time, and I'm thinking like it's just a different mindset now of like just appreciating you as a person. I'm going to support what you're doing, not necessarily whether or not I support the content. If it was something egregious, right, I'll be like, girl, I'm not supporting that. Right. But just you being who you are, and I know that you put effort and stuff behind it. That's why I'm sharing and liking and stuff like that, because I want you to know that I see you. I see that you're working. I see that that's the part. But not everybody has that mindset, and I can get it, like to a extent, like you don't need to go out of your way to support your friends, but you should like show that you see that they're working and like trying to do something with themselves. You know?
No, absolutely.
Or even mention it. People will see you on social media. You'll see you doing a bunch of stuff on your social media, business adventures, successes that you've made. Won't even comment or like, hey, your business, how's things going? Things like that. Like. Just kind of like silent bystanders, just watching your life. And I'll publicly talk about this, but I had that issue with my biological dad, like commenting and liking stuff. We don't really have a relationship at all, but like liking and commenting on stuff, and I was just like, that's not how you will get to know me.
Right.
I will not allow you the privilege of getting to know me through social media. So if you want to get to know me, you got to work harder than that. So that I feel is different for sure. I am like a meme girl. Like where I'll send stuff to let you know I'm thinking of you. And I don't know if that's like I don't know. That's weird. I got people that do that to me too. So I know I have a community. I have a community that thinks like me, like, hey, this video made me think of you. And that's how how I communicate sometimes. But I also know that not everybody operates like that. So trying to be mindful to make sure I actually reach out and like, hey, how are you doing? How are things?
Okay.
What do you how do you feel?
I don't got no feelings.
That ain't fair.
Girl, I don't even remember the question.
Family and friends and social media and them supporting you and
oh yeah. Nah, you know what? I must say I've been fortunate enough to have family and friends that do support me via social media, even if they are just like resharing my posts on their stories, depending on what it is, or liking or commenting, because they know that if you comment, it's going to boost engagement and all other stuff. So I must say I've been fortunate in that area. Mm-hmm. But there are some people who are I'm not friends with anymore, or I'm like not on the greatest speaking terms with anymore, and like nothing drastic happened, just whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, do I want to see them on my social media anymore? Like I struggle with that, like
whether to unfollow or not.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, do I want to unfollow them? But it's like, but I still support just from afar, so I'll keep them there and just like watch whatever the video is, because I know it counts as views and but whatever. But like, yeah,
I'm not a big unfollow person. Like, it's either I'm blocking you or you're here. Because if I feel some type of way, I'm just gonna block you. You can watch, because I'm gonna be okay regardless. But I'm not gonna. The unfollow thing, and if I don't want to see what you posting, I'm just not going to look at your page.
Well, but people it's going to pop up on your thing.
Well, I'm more of a stories where I got to work on like scrolling. I be on stories. I do stories a lot.
You story watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'll scroll like if I'm super bored, but I try not to let myself go that far. But like I'll watch a couple stories. I ain't gonna lie, social media is for me. I know people be like, what are you watching all day? Myself, I'll post and rewatch my same story like 20 times a day. But anyway.
Girl. Yeah, she's crazy.
I will. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm more of a stories person. So if I don't want to see it, I just won't look.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, like I said, I think I've just been fortunate enough to have the support around it, and it ain't like no haters just lurking. I mean, it probably is some haters lurking, I just don't know, but God ain't brought them to the forefront, so I don't care.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
I've had like a friend prior, no longer a friend now, but like get upset that I wasn't posting and going to events and stuff like that, and for me it was just like, no, I don't need to do all that, but I support you.
All right. Okay.
You know I live out in the boondocks. I can't be here every weekend doing it.
I don't, girl. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But, I mean, yeah. I think this was overall like a pretty good series overall. Interpersonal relationships, navigating, dating, and disparities. I know we talked a little bit about that. And just generational trauma. So I think this was a good one. I hope y'all enjoyed it like we enjoyed it.
You laughed, you cried, you smiled. I don't know.
Right. Had all the good
Things.
emotions happening.
All the good feels.
All the things. Anyways, y'all know where to find us on all social media platforms at Why Me Please Podcast. Download your favorite podcast app and listen to us and share with everybody in your family, okay? But as always, we're not the podcast for tea, so why me please? And don't forget, if you want our advice, send us an email to advice@whymepleasepodcast.com.